Welcome back to the channel. A lot of horror stories, a lot of ghost stories, a lot of stuff you see in Hollywood oftentimes is based on true events, real serial killers, real murder mysteries that go unexplained. They don't really want to tell you the truth on this, but murders often go unsolved. A lot of people come up missing that no one has an explanation for, that's still under investigation. And so tonight, we're gonna go over 5 scary horror movies based on true stories. Based off of true stories. This is my first time watching this, so we're gonna enjoy this together and we can build a conclusion. Let's dive in.
5 horror movies based on true events. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yep.
In the Nightmare on Elm Street film series, horribly burned murderer Freddy Krueger invades the dreams of his unsuspecting victims and kills them in their sleep, which then causes them to die in real life. Turns out the idea of someone's death being caused by a nightmare is not fictional. In fact, Nightmare on Elm Street was inspired by a very real news story. In 1981, 26 healthy men from the Asian country of Laos died in their sleep, usually screaming out just before death as if they were having a terrifying dream. Doctors and scientists couldn't understand what had caused the deaths or why the condition only affected Laotians. Physicians began to label the deaths as, quote, nightmare death syndrome.
Oh my God.
While studying the strange nightmare death syndrome, Professor Shelley Adler was told by one Laotian man, quote, when Laotians don't worship properly, then the spirits of their ancestors don't want to protect them. That's why the evil spirit is able to come and get them.
A lot of cultures believe in this kind of thing, life after death, or if when you die and your spirit doesn't go anywhere, purgatory. Often, not even purgatory, it still roams the real world, the world we live in. And this could be an explanation of what we actually see when we see ghosts. 26 men die in their sleep.
Child's Play. The Child's Play series of movies is about a serial killer who uses Haitian voodoo to possess a child's toy, a doll named Chucky. It soon becomes apparent that Chucky is not your ordinary doll as he begins to terrorize the family.
You stupid, you filthy slut!
Well, the story of Chucky the possessed doll was inspired by the story of Robert the doll.
Wow.
Robert the doll was given to Robert Eugene Otto as a boy. One rumor said that the doll had been given to Otto by a Haitian maid who disliked the family and cursed the doll. As a
True
boy,
story.
Otto could often be heard talking to the doll, always
True
referring
story.
to Robert as if he were real. Visitors to the house claimed to hear small footsteps coming from the attic where Robert was kept, and the doll would often be found in a different room with no explanation as to how it got there. Otto kept the doll until his death. Robert the doll now resides in East Martello Museum in Key West, Florida. The museum receives hundreds of letters about the doll every year.
Wow.
But they don't come from fans. In fact, the letters are usually written apologies to Robert the doll. The writers claim that after visiting the museum and either laughing at or making fun of Robert, they experienced horrible bad luck, including accidents and bad health. They believe that they have been cursed by the spirit of Robert the doll. In this clip taken in the museum, many believe that Robert can be seen blinking on camera.
Oh man.
This was not noticed by the original
low-key,
poster of the
yes.
video. It was actually
Low key, yes. You see that?
later pointed out by observant YouTube commenters.
Oh man.
The Hills Have Eyes. The Hills Have Eyes is about a group of cannibalistic mutants living in the Nevada desert. They murder and feed on any travelers unlucky enough to pass through their hillside home. While the actual origin of this story doesn't come from the hills of Nevada, it comes.
Well, in Nevada, we used to test a lot of nuclear bombs. We used to drop bombs all over Nevada. And some of the nuclear fallout fell out into the nearby towns, the towns surrounding Nevada, or just in Nevada, right? Some of these small towns with a population of a couple thousand people. And some of these people, based off of the radiation and the fallout, started to develop mutations. And a lot of it was inbreeding. And so you can look this up, man, fact check this, but some of these people actually look like the Hills Have Eyes. And so there is a lot of murder accounts in Nevada. So partially it's true that the origin could have been inspired or originated from Nevada. But here we go. Let's look at the Scotland right here.
Comes from the hills of faraway Scotland and the gruesome tale of Sawney Bean and his clan. Alexander Sawney Bean is said to have been the head of a clan of 50 people living in a cave in the Scottish hills during the 15th century. The clan lived a life isolated from the rest of society, inbreeding to the point that some members of the family had severe deformities.
Inbreeding, bro. I knew it was a result of inbreeding or nuclear fallout or a combination of the two. Even in Nevada, all the way into Scotland. A lot of the royal families in Europe are a bunch of inbred, so.
Sawney Bean and his clan are said to have murdered, mutilated, and even eaten over 1,000 people who traveled near their home. The clan was finally captured by a posse sent out by King James VI of Scotland. Allegedly, the entire clan were taken to Glasgow and Leith, where they were severely tortured and then executed for their crimes. Some believe the tales of Sawney Bean to simply be 15th century legend, but actual written accounts of the clan and their crimes do exist. Psycho, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Silence of the Lambs. Now you may be wondering why I included all of these movies into one entry. Well, that's because of the simple fact that all three of these movies were inspired by one gruesome true story. The life of deranged serial killer, Ed Gein.
Well, I figured he was just perfectly harmless.
Well, I figured he was just perfectly harmless, and
Rather simple.
Ed
Rather
Gein, also
simple.
known as the Butcher of Plainsfield, was arrested on November 16, 1957. When police searched his house, they found an absolute horror show. Ed Gein's furniture was handmade from human bones and covered with human skin.
oh my God. Oh my God. You see the nose? You see some nose? You see some eyes? Golly, bro. That's a couple of faces. We got two faces for the armrest. We got a face. Oh no, bro. Look at all the faces. There's a face, 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 face. I see at least about 6-7 faces on this thing.
There were skulls that Gein had hollowed out and was using as soup bowls. There were body parts stored in bags and boxes. But perhaps the most bizarre of all, the authorities found female masks and costumes made of actual human skin. Presumably Ed Gein would wear these human skin suits when lounging around at home.
Look at his eyes. Look at how dead his eyes are.
When questioned, Gein said that he had started building his quote, woman suit after his mother's death because he wanted to become his mother. Ed Gein was deemed mentally unfit to stand trial and died in an insane asylum years later.
Oh no.
His grotesque legacy of real-life murders, grave robbings, and insanity went on to inspire the fictional characters of Norman Bates in Psycho, Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Buffalo Bill in the Academy Award-winning movie The Silence of the Lambs.
It rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
The Possession. The 2012 horror movie The Possession might not be as popular as some of the other titles on this list, but the true story behind the movie might be one of the creepiest tales of all. The Possession movie is about a young girl who gets an antique box that is haunted by an evil spirit. Turns out the ancient case is called a Dybbuk box, and is
Based off of a true story. Sorry for pausing so much, bro, but I think it all deserves more context.
used to trap demons, keeping them locked inside. Well, the real-life story of the Dybbuk box came straight from the internet, or more specifically from the online auction site eBay. An antique collector named Kevin Manis offered a wine cabinet for sale. He claimed that the wine cabinet was purchased from the estate of a deceased 103-year-old Polish woman and carried a horrible curse of an evil spirit. He said he wanted to get rid of the Dybbuk box after many strange misfortunes had befallen him and his family, including his mother having a stroke after he had given her the cabinet as a gift. While the box was in his home, Kevin claimed to have violent nightmares from which he awoke with scratches and bruises. And later he even claimed to have seen, quote, strange dark creatures lurking around his home. Now, as weird of a sales pitch as that might be for an eBay item, apparently someone did want the Dybbuk box. Kevin Mannis sold the cabinet to a student named Iosif Nietzsche. However, Nietzsche put the box back up for sale on eBay only 8 months later, after he and his roommates began having bad luck and nightmares similar to the ones Kevin Mannis had. The Dybbuk box was then bought by Jason Haxton. Haxton claims that after owning the box, he began to break out in welts and hives, and even occasionally coughed up blood for no reason. Haxton says that eventually he just decided to seal the Dybbuk box inside a metal container and bury it in an undisclosed location. He has never told anyone where he buried the Dybbuk box.
Man, oh no. Oh no. All based off a true story, man. All based off of a true story. If you don't know your history, man, you lost. You gotta know, you know. So a lot of this stuff is based off of reality. But honestly, like, you know, from the moments of these stories leading up to the current present day, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of murderous, devious, evil people have done worse. And honestly, you know, it's a lot of stuff that's really scarier than any of the fictional stuff that's out there, like the Epstein files. When they gonna release those? But thanks for tuning in, man, watching the video, short and sweet, all based off of a true story. Like, subscribe, come back for more. I'm gonna try to provide you as much as I can, bro. Let's keep it rolling. Hit that subscribe button and come back for more. Catch you in the next one.